So let's start. Boa noite. I just needed to get this off. My name is Carolina, and I'm here to do a very quick lightning round to open for the big guy over there. So this will be more like a dialogue, a talk, just guided here. And 19 years from Brazil to Germany, a short tester story, because we have short time. So let's run. About me, like I said, my name, but I prefer to be called Carol. I'm Brazilian, in case you didn't notice it, because I'm Brazil. 23. I just graduated from computer engineering in the Federal University of Ceará. And I also worked at the same time I studied, so I have 5 years of experience with QA. And right now, out of the blue, I work as a junior software test engineer at Zing. So you're wondering what the hell are you seeing pictures, random pictures over there? It's just when I say about me, I would never have achieved any of this without those people. So they deserve the kudos as much as I do. So you're here for that. So why the hell did you graduate in Brazil, or you're Brazilian, and what are you doing in Germany? And furthermore, why are you here? So yeah, Germany. Why? Why not? I was in Brazil, and I think most of the people from Portugal may hear that market was not as good for everything, especially for technology. So I had a good experience there, and learning English. Tech is one of the most worldwide fields that you can go around the world. So Zing was hiring. They didn't care if I was Brazilian, as long as I could speak English and do the job. So there's Hamburg was waiting for me. I heard in 2014 that Germany was a huge community for software testing, when I heard that Agile Testing Days was awarded the best testing conference, European, I think that was the best European one. Yeah. So ever since that, I started to take a look in that. I was dreaming to attend at some point, so it's supposed to go. So I kept Germany on my mind after that. So with that, I started to take a look at some YouTube videos and so on, what the guys were doing there, and I got this curiosity about this new culture, because what I was learning in Brazil, what most of you learned in university and after your first job, was like, okay, this is just my company, this is just my state, this is just my country, this is just me. What is out there? We're not the only one doing this, so I was curious to see what everyone else was doing. And don't fear the challenge. So as soon as I realized that, okay, those crazy guys in Germany really wanted me to go, of course I got scared, but at some point I saw there was a challenge, and I could chicken out and stay in Brazil and be hugging my mother while studying and looking for a job, but I had a bigger challenge, so I didn't fear it. So we have a before and after to show, because after 5 years working there, I basically built up my mind around the culture, about the software testing culture, about quality assurance and the roles and how they tackle the problems there. But after 6 months working at Zing and learning and watching conferences and talking to people worldwide, I started to collect the main difference I could see. So first, I would like to make a parallel between what the environment was that I worked at back in Brazil and the environment I work here. So you can see already a big difference. Before, I was in a startup environment, a bit like what we have around here in Utah. We built up a software for Lenovo, but inside the university. We had no quality assurance foundation, so before it was the jungle that developers were testing what they were building, and they needed someone who, out of the blue, needed to learn everything about quality. So I was the unlucky girl who jumped into that. So with that jungle scenario, I had to be the one who did everything. I tested, I wrote requirements, I checked the requirements with clients, I complained about them with POs, and trained the new people. So this was where I was before. And it forced me to grow because out of the blue I had a lot of responsibility. And since it was a startup environment, it was so short, I was on one arm length to show my results to the people involved with the money and the people involved with the creation of the product. After, does anyone here doesn't know the size of zinc?
I know.
So zinc is this gigantic German company has staking all over Europe, and there's a very strong.
Don't use it in German bad name again. Just one word.
I don't say it in a bad way. You got complex now. And with a big, huge, strong software testing structure that we have people like Mike and Dirk and Lalit that build up a big structure there with a huge foundation. And everyone, new one who's there, can feed up of their knowledge. And very strong defined role. So when I arrived there to be a software test engineer, you already had a whole setup of what you do and what you don't, what is the challenge that you should face exactly for that role, and not get confused and mix it on my own steps, not knowing exactly what you achieve. So it was a big challenge after all to live this and that. So after jumping from the scenarios, I could summarize the bigger difference points, the divergence points I could see. The first one was how each culture was tackling exploratory testing. In Brazil, because of this lack of definition about roles, we have a lot of startups, and the teaching of software testing is still on the go. So there's still a lot of discovery phase, and that gives a creative field that helps the foundation of exploratory testing over there. You can say that it's good, that it's bad, but it's just the fact that over there the wave is bigger. And around Europe, there is big advocates around here, but I can still feel the struggle. And if you feel curiosity about this, follow this guy on Twitter. He fortunately works without something, but I can't say his name yet, so I just call him Lalit. So let's stay with Lalit. He's gonna forgive me when he sees that. For mobile testing, one of the things that I could see was that back home, I don't know exactly how it is in Portugal, you guys can tell me later, but they really, really want to achieve quality on that, but they travel on their own steps. It's like they're running to get to the finish line and they fall over. They really want to achieve, but they don't know exactly how. And I think it's that because they wanted to, when they realized how big it was, there was already a long time passing. There was this big need right now. Around here, advocates about this started way early, so the foundation is way bigger. And if also a good guy to search and tweets about this also works with us, then you'll not follow this guy too. The third point that this is, I didn't even put a name to references because it's a battle everywhere. I think it's a inside battle in our company, so to speak. But the progressive web and the native apps thing, I think it's a battle that's still gonna go. But in here, I can see the two sides with the swords battling each other. But back at home, what I could see is that, okay, right now it's the moment of native apps, but this moment is gonna pass. Over there, they just took aside. They said, web apps is gonna be the future. So even though we're tackling native apps around here, we should focus on the future. We don't wanna make the mishap of mobile testing, you should start growing the foundation right now about this. So do your own research and find your own opinion about it, because I just present the facts. And last, not advertising, about the agile test culture. Around here, it's really strong. I think it's the big trend. Over there, I really wanted to learn, but there's just not enough people qualified enough. Luckily, I know one guy over there that can speak. If you have any doubts about it, just talk to him over there. Now, I hand over to him. I finished my warm-up.
Okay, thank you.